What if we were not the first to observe Earth from orbit? Before humans launched their first satellite into space, before the Cold War, and perhaps even before the rise of modern civilization, something was already there, an object detected by radar, photographed by astronauts, and still lacking a definitive explanation. It is known as the Black Knight satellite. The mystery of this unknown object is often linked to the year 1899, when Nikola Tesla was conducting experiments in Colorado Springs. Tesla built an experimental station where he studied electricity, wireless telegraphy, and the role of atmospheric pressure. During these tests, his receiver picked up unusual signals that, in his view, could not have originated on Earth. At first, he believed the signals came from Mars. Later, however, he concluded that their source had to be much closer than Mars, and that they might represent communication of intelligent origin. At the time, this idea sounded absurd. Tesla was unable to interpret the signals, but he believed they suggested a numerical pattern: 1, 2, 3, 4. Although the signals were intriguing, Tesla soon ran into financial difficulties and did not pursue the matter further. Several decades later, events occurred that brought his words back into focus. In the 1950s and 1960s, reports began circulating about a satellite of unknown origin. In a 1954 newspaper article titled "Artificial Satellites Circling Earth Now," former Marine and UFOologist Donald Kehoe claimed that at least one, possibly two, artificial satellites were orbiting Earth. Other reports stated that unusual radio signals had been detected in Earth's ionosphere, signals that allegedly did not match known patterns of human transmissions. The US military initially attributed these signals to the Soviet Union, or to natural cosmic phenomena. However, the Soviets did not launch their first satellite, Sputnik 1, until 1957. This led some researchers to speculate that the signals might originate from an extraterrestrial satellite. In 1958, amateur astronomer Stephen Slayton observed an anomaly near the moon. Through his telescope, he saw a fast-moving dark object, which he estimated to be about 10 meters long and roughly 1,000 kilometers from Earth. He observed this object multiple times during his night sky observations. And it was in 1973 that the name first appeared, Black Knight Satellite. The designation itself emerged only later, as a media shorthand for a series of observations that may be connected, or may not be connected at all. The real turning point came in 1998.
T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3.
During mission STS-88, the first assembly mission of the International Space Station, the Space Shuttle Endeavour was launched into Earth orbit. The crew consisted of 6 experienced astronauts and cosmonauts. Their task was not to investigate unknown objects, but to carry out precise technical work. 3 spacewalks were conducted during the mission. Astronauts moved dozens of meters away from the shuttle, secured cables, inspected connections, and took routine documentation photographs. And it was in some of these photographs that something unusual appeared. The images show a dark, irregular object, almost as if wrapped in black fabric, floating above Earth. The photographs were officially released and immediately raised questions. As soon as the images spread across the internet, they were quickly linked to a legend that had already been circulating for decades. NASA responded briefly. According to the agency, the object was a piece of thermal insulation that had come loose during a spacewalk and was captured from an unusual angle. But the issue was not what NASA said. It was that some of the images showed the object in different orientations, without behaving like a lightweight, uncontrolled piece of material. Some experts pointed out that insulation would not move so stably, and would likely change its orientation rapidly. Yet in the photographs, the object appeared compact, almost structured. That said, space debris in low Earth orbit is common, and objects can appear irregular or even resemble artificial structures, especially when viewed from a distance. Still, if the Black Knight theory were true, it would represent a passive observer, something like a cosmic camera, waiting or listening. All the evidence, however, is indirect. Records, signals, images without context. Perhaps the Black Knight never existed. Perhaps it was only a chain of misunderstandings, media shortcuts, and humanity's need to see something more in the cosmos. And perhaps we have simply grown accustomed to looking up and assuming there is nothing there, because sometimes the most unsettling answer isn't yes, but we don't know.